So today's video is a bit of a different video, and today I just wanted to talk about how I went from someone who ate animal products every day to someone who no longer eats animal products and takes a very active stance towards opposing that and towards encouraging others to look into the information that I and many other vegans have came across, and from there make an educated and fair and balanced decision based on an equal playing field. People think that everyone's different, everyone is raised a little bit differently, and that really comes into play in the face of new information. Once all the dots are connected and once all the pieces of the puzzle fit, everything just sort of clicks, and you see how all throughout your life to that point that you were lied to, and basically what it came down to was that I learned enough that I wanted to make a change. And people think that they know the story of veganism and they get it, but it's not for them, or people think that veganism is just this trend, or that people are health nuts, or people are just soppy about animals, or people that the environment is sweet and everything's fine. I mean, I don't know, take your pick of any of those, but at the end of the day, veganism is a huge mammoth of a subject, and I'm nearly 3 years vegan at this point, and I'm still learning about it every day, and still adding to the scope of knowledge, and still expanding my understanding of the philosophy and the subject matter and just the workings of talking to people about veganism. And yeah, I mean, someone could watch Cowspiracy, for example, and it not be enough to make them care and go vegan. Someone could watch Gary Yourofsky's speech and it could still not be enough to make them go vegan. Someone could watch What the Health or Forks Over Knives and it could still not be enough. Or someone could watch all of those and it still not be enough. And we don't live in an ideal world, so there is people that are going to watch all of those and that won't be enough. They'll just never be vegan because of whatever. But to the majority of people, I believe that if the majority of people see these resources, they're pretty readily available. All you have to do is ask a vegan what made you go vegan, what made you change your ways. Most people will see what we have seen and they will get it and they will make the connection. But it's just really, people think they know and they haven't looked at the information. People think it's not for them. People think that it's too hard. People think that they just couldn't be disciplined. It's not about discipline, it's about values. Not eating sugar takes discipline, but not eating animal products takes values. It takes ethics, compassion, understanding, but education first. It's all about what you have learned that has brought you to your present, part of your journey where you're at now, and what you will learn and go forward with, and how that will influence your decisions and how you will live your life from that point on. But there is an interesting point that I want to make here, that some people change and go vegan because they've actually been through a lot of hurt and suffering in their lives, and they see what animals go through and they can relate to that. They can relate to being treated like nothing. They can relate to no one really caring about you, being used and abused and taken advantage of. And people can see the clear injustice there with the parallels of the pain and suffering in their lives and get it that way. But then there's the double-edged sword where some people have been hurt or suffered traumatic experiences or suffered neglect in their earliest and most precious stages of their lives, and they've just shut down emotionally, and they're not very emotionally open people, and actually they can't connect with animals. They don't care about the planet, they don't care about other human beings, and for reasons like that they will never be vegan, because they have learned very young that life is full of pain and no one really cares about me, so why should I care about anyone else, or why should I care about the planet? You know, human beings are very complicated and very sensitive and a lot more emotional and than we care to admit, really, in my experience and observing of other people and myself. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it was necessary to do a little video opening up about me and my experiences. And yeah, I mean, it's no big secret. It's no, I mean, how do I say, like, there's no, for me there was no aha moment. I mean, it was more of an aha of an hour long of, wow, this is a big thing. Like, for me it was Gary Yourofsky's speech. I just watched that speech. I came across pictures of slaughter animals being slaughtered in slaughterhouses just by complete accident, and there was a link attached at the bottom. Clicked it, brought me to YouTube, and I seen Gary's speech, and from there I was like, psh, like, this is major. Like, I mean, this guy makes a lot of really logical points. Just couldn't disagree or argue with the intelligent, you know what I mean, conversation that he was bringing. And yeah, I didn't care how hard it was going to be. I just knew from that point on that no matter what it takes, I'm going to be vegan, because I don't want to participate in the mass slaughter of innocent beings for my food pleasure. Like, it's so selfish. I mean, what is more selfish than saying, I want you to die for my taste pleasure, for me. I don't care about you, I just care about me and what, you know, the pleasure I get out of swallowing corpse flesh and like farm animal breast secretions and the stuff that comes out of the backsides of chickens and the regurgitated byproducts of like bees. You know what I mean? Oh man, it's just so nasty when we all have this like understanding of what animals are here for, and like the food we eat, and what certain food gives us nutritionally. And I don't know, Gary's speech for me just made me, like he says in the speech, if you haven't seen it, it takes the blinders off and you see things for what they really are. Like, if anyone has ever seen the movie, I think it's called They Live, but it's about a guy who gets a pair of sunglasses and he puts them on and he sees the real reality behind society. You know, when he has the sunglasses on, he sees a billboard. It just says like consumerism, just buy. He sees like TV and it's like lies. You know, he just sees through the illusion and sees the truth. And that's kind of what veganism for me is like now. When you go into a supermarket, like, you just see in the meat section, like, it's a morgue. You just see corpse flesh. When you see the milk section, the dairy section, the yogurts, all the happy advertising for how well the cows are looked after and everything, you know, it's just a byproduct of abused animals. It's the same with chickens, free range. Like, you know that there's nothing free about free range, because all those animals still end up at the same slaughterhouse as the chickens that weren't free range, and they all get their throats slit anyway. So what's really free about that? And you see the adverts on TV, you see, I don't know, adverts on YouTube, adverts on the internet. Like, you just see animal products being advertised everywhere, and you just see it differently, and it doesn't affect you anymore. And there's just no temptation, because once you make that decision morally, you cannot be tempted, because your values are stronger than any sort of temptation to taste pleasure or satisfying a desire that ultimately is selfish and unnecessary. And the beauty about it is, like, you can get vegan versions of all these products. So I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling a bit, but I'm just trying to get forth a piece of my mind, and to share that and hopefully connect some dots for some people. So yeah, I mean, anyone else has any comments or anything, just leave them below. I just want to say thanks to everybody that's subscribed to my channel so far. It really means everything to me. The more numbers, the more the message is spread around. That's just the way the algorithms work. I'm just trying to do my part for the animals, just trying to help out. And yeah, thanks very much everyone, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day. Peace.